How do the people in this town look? Are they like? Do they look scared and afraid, mistreated?
It looks like there's not a lot of people walking around.
Okay.
The tavern, as you passed by it, seemed a little empty.
Okay.
And all the doors and windows were closed as well.
Are the fields being worked? Like, are there farmers in the fields?
Not currently.
Is that unusual?
It is a bit unusual because it's in the middle of the summer, so it's a good time to get all the fields worked on. There is an air of fear that people will be swept away.
Staying indoors.
Yeah.
How are you like writing it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Coming with me.
Does Kaize know anything about the traditional greetings to a duke in this area? He has a.
I don't know. That's up to you to decide.
His typical greeting.
He has this book that was left to him by his long dead parents, and it has all like notes from their wanderings, but they were almost illiterate barbarians, and so it is very often mistranslated or spelled incorrectly or semi-phonetical.
I guess you know of a way to greet a duke.
The best
What
way,
is
the best way to greet a duke?
is it like your honor or
you gotta come up with it.
Yeah, this is called collaborative role playing. You don't ask me. You
The
just
best
say,
way-
of course.
The best way to greet a duke
Interesting.
is to pick the lock to his front door and go in. He's like, I like the cut of your jib. Just
We never did bonds.
Literally, because I'm
Oh
gonna
shit!
cut
I
it out
didn't
of
do
your jib.
bonds. I
No
totally
one-
Oh yeah, we
forgot.
gotta do bonds.
Okay, so do one bond. So you have to do a bond of the person to your left and your right.
Okay.
One bond must be from the escape from the sixth realm, and the other bond can be whatever you want.
So since we're both chaotic,
Does everybody
Yes.
know
I have a
the
bond that
bonds?
says,
Yeah.
blank has felt the hellish touch of fire, now they know my strength. If we have like a mutual respect for each other,
Yes.
it would make sense if you're like, oh yeah, this guy can handle himself.
you?
Alright, Sly.
So I have a blank shares my hunger
Wait,
for
say it again?
glory.
I'm ready
The
to
earth will
ballad
tremble
about
at our
your adventures.
passing.
Solid.
Because glory, flame for the flame god.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's
Joaquin,
Wallow?
I stole something
Yeah.
from you.
God damn it.
But you don't know.
Wait.
How is A spelled? Is it A E
It's like the letter.
E E
It's like the
A
letter.
I A?
No, it's just A.
A.
It's like Kid A, like the letter A.
A.
A has my back when things go wrong.
Turn A.
Okay.
Why?
Because I have guided him before and they owe me for it.
That's why.
Yeah.
Alright, listen. Wallow?
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Waldo.
I think.
Alright, Wallow, you are often the butt of my jokes.
Sounds good.
Not the barbarian for
Then
once.
I plan to teach Joaquin the true meaning of sacrifice.
Okay.
Let's see.
What's something of yours that I
Are
stole
you a
from
friend of
I'm trying to
nature or
think.
do you
I
hate nature?
stole-
He's like, I don't like
It's gotta be
nature.
something like just ridiculous. I stole like
Kaize is a barbarian and has
music
lived
strings?
in nature all his
Nah.
life.
I stole like
My
a
hat.
Maybe
I
I'll
have
just
this
say
big
you don't
floppy
understand
hat.
life. No,
I wouldn't
you
steal
probably
that.
And
do.
you wouldn't steal it? Alright.
You
That's not
don't
right.
know about
see.
life in the wild.
I would steal like a,
Is a friend.
like a ring.
I'm a
or
friend of
necklace
nature.
or-
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'll just be
Kaize,
friends.
the incomparable, is a
Something
friend of
A
nature.
pendant.
I think that A is always
Very
getting
cute.
herself into trouble, and I must protect her from herself.
From
Perfect.
Bias.
Even though she has a bear.
It's because I have a giant
It's because you have a
I
bear.
secretly won her heart.
Has that thing ever like
With a song.
bitten us?
And you,
What?
you
Has
just
that thing
don't
ever
know-
bitten us
you
or
don't-
attacked
It'll
us?
Precious to
growl
me,
at
and I-
you.
What is your
It's
bear's
big,
name?
huge and intimidating.
Is your bear's
Its
name Bear?
Z.
Z? A through Z?
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Perfect.
Alright, I must speak to A through
But-
Z.
But Z with Z.
Z always gets my way.
There you go.
My theory about you is that your people don't actually have names, and you just use this letter so you don't feel out of place in
Yeah.
modern society.
Pretty much.
All right, so let's
First
talk. Let's
letter I learned.
let's share our bonds. Remember, the bonds are supposed to kind of
Okay.
shape how you roleplay with each other.
Okay.
Okay, who's turn?
Let's start with Dan because he was last.
Can we fill in the rest of them later on? You
Do we
pick two
fill
for
in the
now,
rest
and then
of
you can.
So
fill in
you're
the
supposed to at the end of each session look
Ah.
at each bond and say like, oh yeah, I've done this.
Yeah, and that gives you experience.
Yeah, it's like, for example, James will say he will teach the meaning of sacrifice to Dan, and so let's say in the middle of it, Dan actually sacrificed, or James actually sacrificed Dan.
No, I wouldn't
You'd be like-
sacrifice Dan. I might, but it wouldn't. That wouldn't teach him.
As
Like
an
I'd
example.
be like,
It'd be very-
of sacrifice.
rid of yours.
very ironic way.
But sometimes
This is what sacrifice means. We put you on the altar.
But you know what I
Horror
mean. At
movie.
some point,
Welcome
he
to
actually
Sorrentell.
did teach this meaning of sacrifice to Dan. Then at that point, you just mark off that that's been resolved, and you get some experience. And then you also say, well, then what new things happened during this session that might mean
Become
more
a new
bonds?
bond.
Let's say Dan truly screwed Will out of some treasure. Then you'll say Will will write down like never give Dan treasure.
And it's cool because
Yeah.
when you finish off a bond, you get
I'll steal it back.
Really good advice.
when you finish off a bond, you get plus bond, right? You get plus bond with that person
When you act towards a bond.
when you act towards a bond.
When you want to aid someone, your bond actually help or hinder you.
Because there are other moves that like
Yeah.
add roll plus bond.
Okay, so we're gonna go through all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so I am writing a ballad about the wondrous exploits of Sly the thief. And Wallow over here, Fireboy's often the butt of my jokes.
It's because I'm too manic to understand what's going
Alright,
on.
Will.
Pretty much.
I stole a pendant off of Joaquin when he wasn't looking. It's a
Ugh.
pendant from a lady that he's trying to woo. And,
Oh, no.
And he holds it dear to him. I haven't hawked it yet, but you know, it's just because I haven't found the right owner. You know. And then I know that A has my back when things go wrong, and that is because
I have guided Sly before, and they owe me for it.
yes,
It's perfect.
So you've got a debt, so she's got a vested interest.
yes,
Right.
Okay.
Yep, yep. And Kaize is a friend of nature, so I will be their friend as well. Even if he's...
Amber, is your character like stoic or like are you kind of loopy? Like what's A's normal personality?
I think those are the two options.
I mean, I don't. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
I'm gonna go with Loopy.
Alright.
I think
Okay.
it's a good
Just a
one.
little off kilter.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no logic here. It's okay. I'm
Well,
a point
Joaquin-
bear.
Joaquin can appreciate.
I wrote down bonds for everybody,
Oh. Okay.
just because I felt that they were all appropriate to Kaize. To Kaize, Sly is puny and foolish, but amusing to me. Joachim's ways are strange and confusing. He swears to have graduated from a college of language, but sometimes I do not think he speaks common the same way I do. A is always getting herself into trouble. I must protect her from herself. And Wallow shares my hunger for glory. The earth will tremble at our passing.
Oh, I got a hunger, all right.
This flame lord he speaks of has things in common with our own deities.
Oh yeah, you had more, didn't you? No, you got
No,
more.
it's all
Okay.
four. Mhm.
For me, Kaize has felt the hellish touch of fire, and now he knows my strength. It's created a mutual respect. I think at one time or another we were in some sort of a combat, probably in the 6th realm, and I shot a bolt of fire right past him, and it like caught you on the cheek a little bit, and you're like, oh, all right.
I think it set the leather shoulder of my chainmail on fire, and I had to fight the rest of the battle
With it on
my,
fire?
with my right shoulder just like almost a torch.
Perfect immolator move. So there's like a mutual respect going on there. And then I will teach Joaquin the true meaning of sacrifice. Because he always seems to be making jokes and never takes things seriously enough. What do you mean I'm hot-headed? Of course my head is hot. I'm an immolator.
Listen,
Nothing
man,
goes over
cool
my head.
down.
I'm too fast. I would catch it.
Okay. So now we've explained bonds and totally forgot about it. That's okay. The door to the Duke's Manor stands before you.
Wait, I thought we were in front of the tavern.
No,
No.
we're in
No,
front
just
of the
moved on?
Duke's Manor.
Okay.
Yeah, you asked about the heir of the town, and I explained all the things you saw on the way to the
Oh, okay.
Duke's Duke's Manor. I just gave out the name of the tavern because I expected you guys to maybe have gone there afterwards.
The toppling troll.
Kaize has
I
a
wrote it
serious look on his face as he flips through a small notebook, very tattered and worn, made of sheepskin.
Kaize, can you like make heads or tails of that, man? That is just like scratches. And pictures? The pictures are cool.
My parents have taught me to read comments since I was young. This is completely legible. I do not understand why you struggle with it so much.
I hate to break it to you, but that's not common.
Oh.
It's uncommonly high quality.
Ah! Ha ha!
I
Don't understand him.
So, what about this Duke's place? You gonna just like knock at the door as I say as I knock at the door?
Yep. Just
Uh,
gonna knock.
Is the Duke's place made of stone?
no, it's a wooden manor.
Okay.
Excellent.
So a elderly
This pleases
gentleman
me.
opens the door.
I'm no longer intimidated.
Hello, I am the Duke Falstaff. How may I help you?
Yo,
We are at your
Falstaff,
service, your honor.
You sent us like a letter, man.
Man.
Curious
My
to know
bear just
servant
growls
answered
at
the
me.
door.
Of course! You are the adventurers I'd heard about in the 6th realm.
In the flesh.
Please come
The
in.
flesh
And
is weak.
yes, I answer my own door. Recent help has been hard to find after everyone is refusing to leave their homes.
Scared off because of the griffin attacks.
Of course. Please, come in, come in.
Why would we not be in the flesh?
And
Does he think we might be some sort of undead?
And you all sit down, and one thing of peculiar that you notice is around. He is wearing some royal garb, some black jacket with some nice gold embroidery and a couple of gems up at the collar. Around his neck is a simple necklace, which at the end it looks like a charred black bone.
Ooh. An exquisite burn on that bone.
Oh yes, it's I am a priest of our goddess Aga, and so this is our holy item.
Did you sacrifice it to the goddess?
Oh no, this is part of Aga's original body.
So you would say that's one of a kind?
There are 6. Each priest of each of the 6 priests and priestesses of Aga carry one of these. But enough of this.
Curious.
If you would like to know more, you can head to the Church of Aga. It is south of Guntasil, in the center of the region of Gunta. But please sit down, and it shows you towards a kind of a common room, which has plenty of comfortable chairs around it. What looks to be like a couple of bottled drinks to the side, and a part of a bar, and a table in the center. Can I offer you all a drink?
I will gladly take some.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course.
Yes, I would like a bucket of water, please.
Oh yeah, are you bringing the bear?
Like
inside?
She would like
Could you please keep the pet outside?
Yeah, can the bear
He
like
just
fit through
came
the
in.
door?
He growls at you.
a trough of water.
Oh.
Yo, don't worry about it, man. He's cool. He's good.
Yes.
He won't even
Here,
poop on
let
the
me
rug
get
or
you all
nothing.
a drink and then a bucket of water for the pet.
Part of the conquest
Escapes.
of the 6th realm was due to this animal.
Indeed. I'm sure it is important. And he comes back with a bucket and lays it far from the bear and hopes that, and then scuttles away from it.
So
Bear growls
I'm gonna
at
take a look
you
around the
and
Duke's
starts drinking
place.
water.
Yeah.
Does it look like what does this place look like? Is it ornately decorated? Are there like fixtures hanging on the walls and such?
It's pretty normally decorated. The region of Gunta, as you know, is not like a rich region. It's just a farming region. He is just a duke of a farming region, so it's pretty modest.
Happens to be in charge, settles disputes between farmers.
Exactly. Yeah, this
Okay,
is not like
gotcha.
a high up position, which is why you haven't really heard of it. It's kind of like
Backwater.
yeah,
kind
it's
of
kind of
out
like
of the way.
Eastern Washington. Where it's like
Ouch!
you know
Wow,
you
feel
know
the
it's
burn.
there.
Somebody's from
Nothing against Eastern Washington.
Hey, they grow more potatoes than Idaho.
That what?
Yeah. True fact.
But Idaho's the potato state.
Well, they're full of potatoes.
Suck on that, Idaho.
So what sort of like
some interesting
chairs
things
are
of
there?
note is that every room is
Oh my
decorated
God.
at least with one bone. Except in here, you can't really tell if it's an animal bone or a human bone.
All right.
I'm curious.
Whoa.
What are the significance of these bones everywhere? They seem to be quite prominent throughout the town.
Ah, just a reminder from our goddess Aga, the goddess of life and death, that there are skeletons inside of us all, and it is impossible to escape death. Please, take a drink.
A foolish theology.
To Aga, may our death not come soon.
To Aga.
I don't have it.
Kaize is sitting on the floor cross-legged. He
Oh, I
does
actually have a
not
drink.
take part in drink.
Now, on to business. Many fair maidens in the region of Gunta have disappeared. At first, it seemed as though they were just leaving. Gunta is, as you all know, is not an exciting place to be. We're a humble people. We go to church. We do harvest. We have our festival in the fall.
Yo, man, there is
but
no
that's-
shame in that sort of a life.
No, there is not. However, not many like this. And so we had thought that these girls were just disappearing because of the boredom of the region. But
Why do you
the
have
other
fair
week,
maidens? I didn't see
young
any cute-
a young man, Dorn,
I
was
agree.
out in the fields with
My bear will just be
Lady Celia Strong, and he swears up and down that when they
Celia
were
Strong, you said?
Celia Strong, he swears
Like STRONG.
up and down that out in the fields a griffin flew in out of nowhere, snatched little Celia away. And he came running to us and immediately told us that there was a griffin in the region. We set up a group to try and find the griffin, torches and pitchforks and all, but we could not find it. I must admit we are not good at finding griffins, but we still tried.
What oaths did this youth swear? He may join us if he need
He-
get revenge.
He swore an oath to Aga, the goddess of life and death,
To do what?
that there was a griffin.
I
How does
see.
one swear up and down?
Yo, it's like a turn of phrase, man.
Well,
So-
specifically, he swore to the goddess of life and death. If he were wrong, he'd have to give his life up to Aga.
Is it only the Is it only the fair maidens that were taken? None of the ugly ones?
Heyo.
You know, it was only beautiful women that have disappeared.
And how many of those are here?
There have been 5.
Bird of discerning taste.
It's like something straight out of the old legends.
Beauty's rather
Perhaps.
subjective, but
Now, Dorn is currently staying at the Toppling Troll. He normally lives in Falstaff, but I've asked for him to stay up here in Guntasil, so that he may tell his story to you, the adventurers that I've hired, to look for this griffin. Now, of course, there will be payment to the amount of 200 coin for the death of this griffin. I am willing to pay you 50 coin now to start, and 150 with the head of the griffin.
a substantial sum. But let's discuss alternate payments for a moment. And I lean closer over my drink, looking at the Duke, and stare at him with my searing eyes. And I go, if I am to do this for you, a proper sacrifice must be acquitted to the far fire.
Oh my gosh. I'm very...
That bone of Aga, you have 6 of them. Surely you can part with 1.
He grips his bone dearly.
A simple sacrifice, and it's mostly charcoal already.
I cannot give you the bone of Aga, for this is a real bone from her body. It is irreplaceable.
But it could be any kind of bone, right? What gives it validity that it comes from the goddess herself?
Oh, would you like some proof?
Indeed.
Please, follow me. And he motions towards a room to
Gonna make a
the
joke,
far
but I wanna
back,
see how this goes.
to the far back of his manor. Is a small ritual room where you see a pool of water in the center with a skull up on the top and some seats to the side. It is a dark room with no natural light from the outside. He takes a candle from outside and lights the 4 candles to the corners of the room. Please take a seat.
I seem noticeably
Ask for
pleased.
his aid, or for Aga's aid.
And I go, I will not speak to another goddess, but you may do so. I will watch with intent.
He kneels down in front of the pool of water. Oh, great Aga, goddess of life and death, please, in your beautiful bounty, stave off death for just a little longer and give to us some life. And he kneels his head down for a moment. And then he goes up, takes a scoop of water, and drinks it. He stands up. Oh, it feels so revitalized. Please, drink from the water.
So I like go over and like dip my finger in the water, and like
It's cool, natural spring water.
I dip it in the water and it goes a little bit. I'm like,
Are you a salamander or are you human?
I'm human,
Okay.
but if I can
Immobile.
conjure a burning firebrand, anyway,
Okay.
yeah. And I go, curious, but what does that exactly prove?
Drink, and you'll find out.
Just like wallow in it a little bit, man.
Kaize steps forward and scoops up the water. Drinks.
Do you have any? Describe your face for me.
It is gaunt after many years of hard travel and battle.
Okay. Do you have any scars?
Yes, many small and long scars.
Any
from
scars
me.
on your face?
Yes, and an old scar underneath the eye, just
After-
a small one.
After drinking the water and looking down at the flat water, you see your reflection. The scar is gone.
This water is heresy. It takes from us the wounds of our battles.
No!
I agree.
It is granting you, Aga, grant you life.
I go.
I have been tricked.
I go and I
I
drink.
will not speak with
gives
this
life,
man any
and she
further.
can taketh away, and she has blessed us by giving us life right here.
I go and I drink from the water.
Anything that makes you forget the sacrifices you make is not worth toying
You
with.
feel refreshed and invigorated.
Kai's turns
If you had
and he
any scars,
storms
there
out.
would be
He will be waiting
only a few of
outside,
them this
fuming.
I also drink from the water. Do my mutton chops grow a little longer?
No, but you feel revitalized.
You have mutton chops.
So I'm gonna wave my hand and put out the candles in the room in frustration, and then storm out.
It is fair, not many like our little goddess of Aga. She is known
She
only to the
steals
region of
pretty
Gunta,
ladies.
strangely, but that is fine. We are happy with our little goddess.
Yo, listen, don't worry about Wallow. He's a little uptight.
I turn around. A bone that protects you, then, Alderman. Not your goddesses, but a bone.
If you can't stand the heat, get out of
You wish for one of the bones I have decorated.
Yeah.
One of our protection bones.
That and the coin will be payment enough for the Firefire to aid you in this matter.
Fair enough. I will be able to give you one of my bones. Would you like it from a farm animal or from man?
Man, of course.
Of course.
Though I'm
What
interested
was
how
my
you
name?
harvest those yourself.
Donated, of course. It is a great honor for a man or woman in this region to give up their bones to the goddess of life and death.
I will assist you. But always remember, the Firefire will consume you, long before Aga ever does.
She doesn't consume, she gives and takes away.
Same difference.
My bear just growls at you.
Whoa,
Yeah.
man.
Doesn't like you. Doesn't like you.
Did you-
either, I'm
did you-
sorry.
Oh, you got. What did you
Did
got
Wallow
to
end up
Oh,
coming
yeah.
outside?
That's fine.
I
Yeah.
suggest
I
that you
left.
begin your investigation. Oh, first he hands you a big ol' sack of 50 coins. I suggest you
Thank
begin your
you.
investigation.
Nobody cares enough. Yeah.
I suggest you begin your investigation at the toppling troll, where Dorn is residing.
No, one more thing. I'll need a torch. And flint and steel.
I'm sure you can find that at the general store.
Excellent.